Coming back up from that, you'll see a lot of old growth trees. A lot of them have pins on them like that one there. And this rock formation, it's an evergrowth. I should tell you there's some history in this area. But before I get to that, look at this tree. It's growing right on top of this rock. Just exactly what hemlocks do. Its root goes the whole way along, comes down. These are all old growth trees. Even though that one's busted off on the top. You can hear I'm not far from the road. Look at this beautiful scene. It's really nice and along here. There's some people walk by. See how beautiful the stream is. Up ahead here, there appears to be some sort of a cabin, some sort. I know the path goes through here because look at that. Very muddy though. Here's this path is blazed. Water has like a greenish color to it because it comes from a bog up above. Do any of you know the history of this place and how the steel company owned this up above here? And just how nice it is to see some of these trees getting the respect they deserve. The old growth trees and to be saved by the Somerset Conservancy. And more importantly, for it to be cleaned up and renewed and treated with the love and respect that it deserves. Here's that cabin I was saying about. Used to be right off of here. Not certain. A beautiful little place, isn't it? The stream's really deep right there. I bet it's some really good fishing in there. Wow. That old tree right there. You always want to be respectful when you come through these access areas because that's somebody's place. And the path comes through, so, you know, you're okay to walk it, but you don't want to, don't mess with their stuff. What a little piece of heaven they got. How great is that, man? Take that all in. Stick to the yellow blaze. It's not yours, Will. Maybe someday. In all reality, I'll tell you a little story while I'm here. My great aunt, or rather my great aunt, my Aunt B, she lived right up here. Part of this, one of these houses that was torn down was hers when they put 219 in. And I'm not sure exactly which one, but, you know, I'd love to know a little bit more than what she told me. She really wasn't a big one on telling the stories of the areas and where she lived. In fact, when she, before she passed away, she promised me all these pictures of my great-grandparents. I only have one of my great-great-grandparents. And it's just the luck of what a kid keeps when he's finding stuff. And I got a photocopy of it. So she gave the rest of it away. I don't know what happened to all of it. She was a very nice person, but very odd, you know. Look at that tree. Just stepping over the older one. It's a hemlock too. That's going to be a strange tree when that gets bigger. You know, What do you think when you come into a place like this? What does the woods tell you if you're quiet and you listen? What stories do you think that you can find? They've marked some of these trees to tell you a little bit about what they are. They don't tell you a lot, but this is of course a black gum. It is a black gum tree. Kind of strange seeing them here, isn't it? A lot of these trees in this area you'll find, like this old grandfather behind me, are types of trees that you normally wouldn't find, you know. When they went through and they did logging, a lot of these trees they cut down, and it ruined the environment as far as the ecosystem and what some of the smaller trees had. The ones that they didn't find much use for, a lot of them, like there's persimmon trees, and there's black gum, and there's many others, are really rare nowadays, you know. What you're left with is these little areas you find them in. So when you come in here, come in the forest, listen to the story the forest has to tell you. Listen to what different plants tell you. Like if you see that white witch's pipe, you know you're in an old growth forest. Here's another one of these trees that's just growing in the stump of the other one. And you would think the other tree is dead, the old tree, but it's not. One of the things that science has taught us, looking at how molecules and information is sent from one tree to another through the root system in the ground, is that all the trees that are related will take care of each other. If there's a certain infestation of an insect, they will tell the other tree about it very, very slowly. And you'll see that, especially here. I'm going to show this to you. These are all baby hemlock trees, surrounded by these older ones. And as the older trees die, you wonder why would a stump like this still have life in the green of the bark. And it's because these little trees, be it that they've naturally rooted on their own from the roots, like air layering or whatever, are all related, and they help feed the other tree. And it's a storehouse of information. When you see a tree like this, it stores the information that the other trees had for hundreds of years and teaches the younger trees things like pest control, how to survive a really dry summer, where those secret rocks are that you can tap your roots out to and find water if you need to. History of all the trees that came before you. How to let mosses grow on you to protect any injury that you have. What's good and what's bad. Unfortunately, there's nothing that trees know how to protect themselves from man. And that's why we have to help preserve places like this, like Kimberly Run, you know. Tree it's broken off. So I want to see that tree's not dead. So I want to ask you, the kid in me asking these questions. Silly for an adult to ask, but if you were a tree, where would you grow? Why? And what would you tell future generations? Like when I was just up at Cook's Forest or some of these trees, you have to realize some of these trees, their parents lived 400 or 500 years ago, the time when George Washington came through here, William Penn. And in that sense, you know, their grandparents could have been alive 1,000 years ago. So trees adapt very slowly. Since man's come along, the tree lifespan is not 500 years or 400 years or 600 years. It might be 80. It's whenever you're used to being good enough to be lumbered, you know. So taking that into aspect, if I was a tree, I'd go in a place where I would not want to be around people. Just those things you think about when you're in the woods, you know, and you take the time. Going to leave you all in here, this note here, just this natural beauty. Quietness of the stream. If the road wasn't there, it'd be even better. So much to teach you. It really does. If you get a chance to go out to Kimberly Run, you can find it. Do it. My family has lived in this area since the well, white, Native American blood way back, but as far as the white people, 1730s, 1750s, they came into this area. So, a lot of history here with my family. When I come here, I feel it. I feel deep in my soul. I really do.